Good afternoon, guys, or whatever time of day it is that y'all are watching this video. I wanted to welcome you to Personal Finance. I think this is going to be the largest class that I've had for personal finance since this program began back in 2017. Um, and just to give you a little bit of background on me and on this program, my name is Dr. Greer. I went to undergrad at the University of Texas in Austin with studying government and economics. Then I went to law school at Texas Tech University, thus the double T shirt I'm wearing. And while I was at Texas Tech, I got my master's in personal finance as well as my law degree. Um, so immediately after graduating, I took a job at a financial advisory firm here in the Houston area. And I'll tell you all a little bit about that later on in class. But needless to say, our typical client, you had to have at least $1 million to invest with us. So they tended to be on the wealthier side. But even with that, I saw a variety of people in managing their money, and they didn't all have the same problems. One couple, both attorneys, made about $2 million a year, but they had nothing saved for retirement because they spent everything. Another couple, single income, 300,000, still good money. Wife had a little bit of a gambling secret in which there were some months that she was going off to Louisiana while he was out of town and spending $10,000 gambling. But because he was frugal, and when he stopped traveling, she would stop playing. And so their retirement, while it wasn't as much as we would like to have expected with that income and his frugality, um, he was okay on it. Also saw a uh, trust, kind of a trust fund baby, trust fund grandchild. He was in his 40s, but all the money that he had inherited was tied up in the trust because he was not the most responsible individual. In fact, in his 40s, and his credit score was so bad that he could not even rent an apartment. He was staying in a weekly motel, kind of one of those hotels that you pay for a full week in advance. So I saw a little bit of everything, and I'm taking that information and bringing it, taking those experiences and bringing it to this class. Um, this class started back in 2017. So 2016 was the first year that I was teaching high school at Westbury Christian. Um, and one of my students, she had me as a junior in economics, but she knew my background and she ended up petitioning Mr. Wagner and the administration to create a personal finance course for me to teach. Uh, and so next school year, over the summer, Mr. Wagner came up to me and asked me if I'd be interested in doing it. I said yes. And so since 2017, I've been teaching this course. It went from, we're still developing some interest. And so last year it was only offered in the fall semester. But this year, because of remote learning, COVID, but also increased demand from y'all, we've increased it to both the fall and the spring semester that it's going to be offered. Um, so that's really exciting for me, especially as our country comes to grip with a recession where the economic numbers are pretty scary to look at. We just don't know how long or temporary this will be, but personal finance is on the forefront of people's minds. I saw a kind of seemed to be conflicting headlines the other day on my phone from Market Watch. It's Market Watch is a site that I use to follow economic news, But first headline, number of bankruptcies in the U.S. is at a 10-year high. Second headline, S&P 500 reaches all-time records. And so there seems right now to be somewhat of a disconnect between how well the stock market is doing and how well people on an individual basis are doing. So I want to commend y'all for signing up and taking an active stake, an active investment in your future well-being. You do not want to be in a position later on in which you have to file for bankruptcy. And so if you set the right foundation, you'll decrease your stress levels so much. You won't have to worry about money if you set the right behavior in place. All right, guys. And just a little bit of a trivia deal about me. One of my favorite NFL players is Patrick Mahomes because Texas Tech. So I was really excited to see him go to the Chiefs. And in fact, before becoming a Super Bowl champ and Super Bowl MVP, I met him in Rochester, New York, and got my picture taken with him, as well as an autographed football, which I do not plan on selling yet. I guess always if you're offered the right price, possibly, but that price for me is fairly high. All right, guys. Well, this first week is going to be somewhat of an easy week as we're easing back into the school year and in this new-ish type of environment. We had some exposure of it last semester, but this is the first year that we're starting off this way. Hopefully it'll be the last year that we're starting off this way. But so this first week, we're going to kind of ease into it. And next week is really when we're going to start diving into the material. So watch for this at the end of this week. There's going to be some assigned reading that I want y'all to read. I may post it a little bit before Friday, but read it before next week, and that's going to be what we're gonna start off on for this class. Okay, guys, if y'all have any questions, the best way to contact me is email or commenting on something that I've already posted on Google Classroom. If you comment, just create a post and comment. I won't get a notification for that, but if you write a comment on something that I've posted, I'll get the notification on my phone and I can respond a lot quicker. All right, guys. Well, hope y'all have a great day, and I look forward to getting to know y'all this semester.